Fall 2007, Scott County Schools in Kentucky, a 25th anniversary celebration, and something important is stirring at this gathering of educators from across the world who share a very clear vision for invitational education and what it means.
Let me help you become a whole human being. It's called teaching the whole child. And that's what invitational education has been all the time.
We are the only concept that I know of that has what we call the four-corner press. And that is, you're personally inviting with yourself, you're personally inviting with others, you're professionally inviting with yourself, and you're professionally inviting with others. Four-corner press. No other system that I know of says how you care for yourself is just as important as the other three areas, if not more important.
Even after 25 years, this idea may be new to many. Movements must have their time. There must be opportunity and reason for discovery, for enlightenment. At this gathering, all that became reality.
We've been around 25 years, so we're not a fad. Many things in education are fads.
The international gathering is centered in Georgetown, Kentucky, where the concept of invitational education showcases the key element of engaging the entire community, from parents to business partners, and demonstrates that the results fulfill the goals of education.
Since we're doing a lot of things, but invitational education is one of the main strands, and I don't think it's a coincidence that every year, for the last dozen years, our test scores have grown substantially.
People all around the state are looking at Scott County. What are you all doing here to make it work? And we work with everybody here. We're not isolated. Scott County school system is not isolated from the rest of the community. We are part of it.
It was a time for celebrating success and discovery, and of going beyond, with promise in a time when it is most needed.
But feeling good about yourself has value in itself. You don't say a child's self-concept is good because they'll do better in school. No, as human beings, we have to be concerned about the level of living that we have. That in itself, is so important.
Invitational embrace.
Peter Yarrow, composer of Peter, Paul and Mary's memorable Puff the Magic Dragon and the popular new children's book, has traveled down such a road before, when the people's voice was desperately needed and the society was deeply challenged. And he is here again for these times.
It's the most volatile, the most dangerous time that I've ever lived in. And that doesn't mean we didn't accomplish great things before, but we have to understand why and how we accomplished those things in the civil rights movement, the anti-war movement. And we have to find not the same strategies, but achieve the same kind of organizing traction to make it happen. And all that happened because people's hearts were engaged and because they felt empowered.
And indeed, that has been happening. Research, creativity, cold, hard consideration of what is possible. And a system has emerged, a pathway which beckons exploration.
You know, right now the wave in America is accountability, period. As measured by high-stakes testing, zero tolerance. I don't buy into that. I think it's too narrow, too truncated. Every time you box something in, you box a lot out.
It is fair to ask, what is the difference? Can this approach to education be that unique?
We use the term unintentionally inviting, that many times people go into education for the right reasons, but to sustain, we need to have the language, we need to know and to be purposeful about how we're meeting the needs of each child.
And indeed, the language is in place, in a carefully crafted concept that can be studied and can become meaningful guidance to consider the values of intentionality in invitational education. And it makes sense. Invitational education enlists 4 principles: respect, trust, optimism, and intentionality, and pays serious attention to what are referred to as the 5 Ps. Dr. Betty Siegel, co-founder of Invitational Education, provides a glimpse into how the pieces begin to fall into place.
You layer trust, and you layer respect, and you layer optimism. Then the intentionality of that then leads to what we refer to as the starfish, the people, the place, the programs, the policies, and the processes.
Intentionality is a key word. It's just absolutely vital to the organization that without intentionality, we're not consistent. And we need to be consistently positive and have respect and to have trust.
A celebrated example of inviting schools is the scene for this anniversary celebration, the Scott County School System. Superintendent Dr. Dallas Blankenship, a trustee with IAIE, explains the introductory steps in conveying the concept.
Well, I would talk about a movement to make schools more inviting places for parents, for the community, for our teachers, and especially for students.
I really think kids are comfortable when the teacher is more inviting.
One begins to sense the feeling of welcome by visiting Scott County's Royal Springs Middle School. Something profound happens. The unmistakable condition of being intentionally inviting pervades the entire community.
But now we know that we're finding more jobs for parents to do, so parents feel comfortable. We're building more relationships with the community, so they feel comfortable in the schools now. And I keep going back to that same word, comfortable, but that's what we want. We want that comfort level, that mutual respect with all of our business partners, you know.
And we all know that when you treat people with respect, they'll give you respect. And so our students, they model good behavior and show respect.
This may also be the only such concept which has inspired an international following as the most promising guidance for educators and leaders, and it summons close attention.
Well, we fight two demons. One demon is that, we're already doing that. Everybody's. And they're not. I mean, I can go into most schools and within 30 seconds I can point out 30 things that are disinviting, not on the people, the place, the policy, the program.
Invitational education truly changes the way we engage one another and brings promise and possibilities beyond the community. The phenomenon now reaches 15 countries, notably China.
啟發潛能教育. This is a Chinese translation for invitational education.
The concept that we have so much in common. You know, they may be halfway around the world, but yet the needs of their students are very similar. Not that it's an exact match. It is two different cultures and two different areas where we come from, but yet problems that students experience are very much the same as what students experience here.
Invitational education basically starts in a Western school. In Hong Kong, I think you know, is some sort of Eastern culture, Chinese culture. But it fits really well because Hong Kong is a place like what you said, it's a world city, right? It's a world place, East meeting the West. So invitational education really fits beautifully there.
Leaders such as Dr. Peter Wong have realized that the key is having a framework, a strategy for intentionally addressing the potential of individual students.
To me, I feel it's the schools. I can see the difference in the school when they practice invitational education.
Cleo Chan has known the frustration of high expectations and demands without the practice of invitational education.
But after knowing about invitational education, I find that it's not the score that matters. It's not the achievement that matters. It is whether you can bring the future to a child that matters. And this is the part that touches me. And it relieves me from that kind of burden for so long. And I become a much more happier person and more dedicated educator. This is what I gained from invitational education.
It's not what you do, it's who you are. And I think that that's colored my work. And as a psychologist, I'm much more interested in the beliefs and attitudes and values than I am on what your accomplishments are. And if I can find people around me who have beliefs and values and aspirations and attitudes that are people-oriented, then there's no question that you can move forward with some dispatch into positions, into actions that really make a difference. But I think if you're fixated on just the product of what you do, then you're missing something in leadership.
It takes courage and bravery to do this. It isn't something that you just do in the summertime.
Like falling in love. When you're really happy, you're not so analytical, you're just grateful. I think if we see these events as they occur, whereby we are partners in trying to make the same thing happen. We'll be too busy being in love with what we're doing to worry about looking at it and evaluating how proud it makes us. It'll just be part of the way we walk through.